Good evening and welcome back to another episode of the Final Flight podcast. We're back once again for another preview, and it's a big one. And we've got a fantastic guest joining us tonight. Liv, welcome back on the show. How are you tonight?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on again.
Good. Well, you were fantastic last time, so we definitely jumped at the chance and getting you back on. And Rich, obviously, it's finally arrived, mate. I'm sure you're absolutely buzzing. Royal Ascot. Are you excited, mate?
I mean, it's the best of the best for Ascot. So
don't sound too enthusiastic, will you?
Early mornings, long days. That's what it is.
Where are you from this evening? It's not Dubai like Joe. I mean, Joe is supposed to be joining us tonight, but I'm currently not heard anything from him, so he's a bit MIA. Where are you tonight, Rich?
I am up in Northumberland.
Oh, well, let's hope the Wi-Fi holds up tonight. So, as we said there, mate, we're going to preview the first couple of days of Royal Ascot, sort of the group fixtures, the group races. There's sort of 4 each day. We're just going to fly through those, give our opinions on the winners, and we'll see how we get on. And if Joe finally turns up, then he can jump on. If not, sod him, is what I like to say. So we're going to get straight into it, really. We're going to waste no time. I'm going to come straight to you, Liv. You're going to kick us off tonight. We're going to start with the Queen Anne Stakes. Obviously, Group 1 over a mile, the first race of the meeting. Everyone will be pumped up, ready for this. Everyone will want to start with a winner. Obviously, it's a great way to start the week if you can. But you've got Facture Cheval in here, bringing the form from Dubai. Shireen, a horse I've quite liked in the past. Big Rock, one of the Frenchies as well. Audience and sort of 10-1 bigger the rest. Who's your idea of the winner of the Queen Anne Stakes?
It's so tough to choose from this one because I think most of them have equal chances, but I've gone with, how do you say it? Shireen.
I say Shireen, but I don't even know if that's right, but we'll go with that.
I'm so bad at pronunciation, but we'll just go with that.
We'll fit in here if that's correct.
Well, yeah. Sylvester's obviously in good form at the minute. He's operating at an 18% strike rate. Big Rock's jockey's only operating at 11%. Big Rock's obviously got the course form advantage, winning the Queen Elizabeth Stakes by 6 lengths, but I think he needs a little bit slower ground. He obviously raced on good last time out. I think it was at Newbury, finished 6 out of 10 runners. Things didn't go his way that time, though, because he obviously didn't get to lead. And I think Royal Scotsman, who's obviously drawn next to him, will try and make it again. And then I think he may just sulk about that. So I think the way that the race sets up probably won't be in Big Rock's favour. Roger Varen's obviously in good form as well. 29% strike rate, 7 wins from 24 runners in the last 14 days, and majority of them are being placed. Obviously, Shireen himself, this season's campaign, he's won a listed race at Doncaster, Group 2 Sandown Mile, and he was third in the St James Palace Stakes last year. Just caught for second on the line, and he's obviously proven on good ground in a clear second last time out at Newbury when 14 lengths ahead of Big Rock. So just based on obviously holding Big Rock at form, I think I'll just have to go with him on this one.
Love that one. I mean, I'll just quickly, some great stats there, some good descriptions there. I mean, she's done you over here, Rich. You're not only the stat man. Absolutely put you to sleep here. Joe, are you at Windsor then, mate? Is that why you're a bit late on and looking like you're out in the sunshine, mate?
I am, yeah, I'm at lovely Windsor, getting ready for Royal Ascot. By the way, hay fever is absolutely killing me. That's why I've got the sunglasses on. So yeah, I've had 2 winners. Hopefully, Metaball will come in here.
Oh, Metaball, yeah, I backed him last time out. Well, good luck to you, mate. Do you fancy giving us what are you doing then? Are you staying on or what are you doing?
What I'm gonna do after the last we get a taxi, so I'm gonna do my best bet for day 1, which I'll give a mention to a few. I really like Big Rock in the first. Coming over from France, won very well at Ascot the end of last season. I'm not 100% certain the ground's in his favour. I was hoping for a bit more rain, but I feel like that win at Ascot last time was so impressive. He's obviously capable of that. I don't think the ground was that too bad that day. I just think we'd have such good ground for the full year. I mean, last year's completely different to this year. We haven't had the amount of sun we've had. It's been a bit wetter. I just feel like Big Rock at 11 to 2, 6 to 1 is a decent each way price. For me, Rasalian tomorrow in the St James's Palace. The sun's absolutely beaming. He's a very good winner of the Guineas, but you know, we've seen Aiden's City of Troy, it was first run of the season. We've seen Carl Burke run Fallen Angel first run of the season. Unfortunately, we're not going to see Fallen Angel again, but we have this common theme of first run of the season, no run in the Guineas, and then they seem, you know, to get better throughout the season, improved on that in the Irish Guineas. I think it's going to improve again, you know, out of Blue Point, so Ascot's, you know, we've heard it from Richard Hannon and Lily. I think Ascot's going to suit. I'm very confident. I think 4 to 1's a massive price, to be honest. And in the Appleby stable tour, I know Rich's a big fan of the Appleby boys, but Charlie Appleby did mention about the Blue Point connection with Rasalian, and that I'd say it was less favourable terms towards the Godolphin horse in terms of a run under the bell, won the Irish Guineas, so improved from that. Good to, you know, you're going to get definitely good to firm ground here at the moment, the way the weather is. You know, I'm a big fan of Rasalian. I think Ascot's going to suit. I think coming round the home bend and a quick finish is going to be all important.
Good lad, mate. Well, that sounds good to me. Are we going to let you get off then? Are you going to join us back later on?
Yeah, I'm going to give one tip in the last.
Go on then.
Give me 1 second.
Hell's bells, Joe. You're absolutely butchering this podcast for us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, mate. Go on.
Let me be boss. Last race, 4 to 1. I was speaking to Oshin just before he went out, and that's meant to be the word on track. 4 to 1. I've had a little bit, and I'm going to see what he goes off at, but fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed then, mate. Nice one, Joe. Well, I'll let you get off, mate, and then we'll crack on and we'll catch you later on. Cheers for that, pal.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll be back in about half an hour.
All right, mate. Catch you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Well, I don't know if you got a word of that, but fair play to Joe.
Like the ginger blogger, wasn't he?
I'm going to say it's like we have our very own blogger. My days. I mean, he needs to sort that haircut out for a start. I mean, so I'm reading some of these comments, but it's quite funny. Obviously, Joe's just living his best life at the moment, jet setting around, and turns up when he wants. He's like a rock. He thinks he's a rock star for some reason, but we'll revert back to that. The first race, obviously, the Queen Anne Stakes. I mean, he mentioned Big Rock there. I was kind of in the camp with you, Liv. I think the ground's probably going to be way too quick for him.
Yeah.
If he handles it, fair enough, but I can see him sort of drifting further out. Shireen, I backed that day at Doncaster. I thought that was a good run. Again, that was soft ground. Didn't run too bad last time at Newbury. Got a reverse form with audience. Yeah, it's a tight little race. What were you thinking, Rich, on this first race?
I mean, my original thought was in Spiral, but that got canned last week.
Bloggers bad luck, stunning Spirals. Spiral over, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a tricky little race. I mean, Triple Time won it last year at 33s for Kevin Ryan, and I've been looking at High Royale.
Kevin Ryan. I've having a little bit of a winky eye on him.
He's been backed in massively with 66s yesterday. He's like 20s now.
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, he's draw quite high. I think a high draw is potentially quite handy. I mean, you want to be either side of the rail, don't you?
I think Ryan Moore's quite a taking booking as well.
Yeah, exactly. So he's probably one I've looked at. I probably played 2 in this. I mean, High Royale finished second or third in 2,000 guineas. I mean, the form is a bit mixed, but he's finished in front of, is it Shirin? Is that how you pronounce it? Shiran?
No idea.
Pronounce it however you want, mate. Pronounce it however you want.
Royal Scotsman is finished in front of him, Flight Plan, etc. So his form does tie in. Like I say, he's a big price. He has been getting nibbled at, so he's one I'll potentially look at. And the other one is Maljoom for Haggis.
Is that the one that was mega unlucky last year or the year before? So unlucky at the inside.
Not last year, the year before, he finished 4th in the St James's Palace. He was out for then a year, had one run, Didn't see him again. He's had one run this year already, so it's the first time he's backing up a run. So he comes here race fit, finished third last time out. I just think that they must feel he's got something still to give. I mean, he's 5 now. In terms of flat horses, potentially, that is quite old. I mean, normally they're retired to stud, don't they? But yeah, so Maljoom and High Royale each way are the two that I'll probably have a look at in the first.
Yeah, I mean, Royal Ascot, it's always really tough. You get a lot of, like you said, I've always said it's mega competitive. I'd always try and hunt around for extra places if you can. Maybe have a couple of darts. I think I'll have a little each way on High Royale myself. And who was the other one? Sorry, and it was Shireen as well. Was the other one? I'm not keen on the Big Rock. I'm not sure about Factor Cheval coming over from Dubai or whatever he's been running. I don't know. So I'll stick with Shireen with Sylvester and a little each way on High Royale. That'll do me. And FYI, anyone who's watching and listening, if you're going to back Joe's tip and it loses, make sure you absolutely hammer him on Twitter. All right. It's not from me. It's not from us three. It's from Joe and Joe alone. Hopefully it wins if you're backing. Right. Moving on. I'm going to swing round to you, Rich, my friend. The 305, the Coventry Stakes. 6 furlong, good to firm ground. This is going to be rapid. Loads of 2-year-olds in here. One, maybe max 2 runs. You've got Coward of the County in currently as favourite. Adding sight in second favourite. Camille Pisario. Yo Mo Be There. And bigger than 12 to 1, bigger the rest. Pick one out of this, Rich, mate, or is it just a bit of a lottery? I mean, 2-year-olds, come on. After one run, a lot of them have won. How are you dissecting this? You've muted yourself. Thank God. Thank God he's muted himself. Peace at last.
I said this is your perfect sort of race, isn't it, this one?
I love these two. It's even better when they're all unraced.
Yeah, I mean, it looks very tricky. Again, probably have a look at a couple here. You've got Andy Sight, who I saw when at York in May. I thought he did that very well out of Pinatubo. So he's definitely got speed, and the attitude was there last time. He pulled clear with another one that's in a Yamo B there, I think he's called. Again, probably another interesting contender. I thought it was quite interesting that Buick sides with Al Quadra in this rather than the newcomer for Appleby. He's probably the most experienced one in the yard. Maybe that'll in the race, sorry. So maybe that'll play into his hands. And the last one, the actor, I thought was quite promising. Won last time out in Newmarket over 5. Beat Al Quadra. Quite convincing, actually, to be fair. And Tropical Storm was only in next second. I think Oisin Murphy talked about that one on our other show. So
yeah, I
think the form's quite decent there. So yeah, they're probably the two. Maybe Al Quadra maybe each way, but yeah, they're the ones that I probably fancy for this.
Well, I thought you'd just be GSI into the old Blue Boys, you know what I mean? So I'm surprised you didn't just put both of them up. Liv, then, what are your thoughts on picking out a 2-year-old to improve enough to come and win this?
It is just a bit of a lottery, isn't it, really? But
yeah.
I have to go with Andesite. Won Class 2 at York on debut over 6 furlongs on good ground. So ability's been proven and conditions are obviously looking to suit. And then Ask the Boss was in 4th, who won a Class 2 at Chester on Saturday when I was there in really gutsy fashion. So the race's form's already starting to work out a little bit, which you can't really say for some of the others. He's a half-brother to Dramatised, who won the Queen Mary for the same connections, second time out after winning on his debut, so looks like it could be a similar story here. Ascot and York both galloping tracks, so looks an ideal opportunity for him to make it 2 out of 2. And then each way at a bigger price, I think he's about 12 to 1 in Club B, Francisco's Piece. He won a listed race in France last time out by 2 lengths. He was second at York in a Class 2 by a short head, and he won on his debut at Pontefract. And Invincible Anis was a 6-5 favourite who has won since. So again, the form's working out there. He's versatile ground-wise. He's won on heavy, good and soft. He steps up to 6 furlongs from 5 here, but he should just continue to improve. So I can imagine he'd definitely make the frame. He's obviously one of the most experienced out of them all as well, which I think will bode well for his chances.
Yeah, I like that one. I mean, I'm an absolute sucker for some Pontefract form. There's quite a few from that first meeting that I managed to go to that have actually come out and won a couple of decent races. James's Delight being one of them. I don't really like talking to him, to Rich, to be fair, because I've kind of backed him when he's lost and not backed him when he's won. But that's one of those things. So I did quite like Francesco's piece. Hopefully, he can run a big race. This one called Catalyze or Catalyst, however you want to pronounce that. That 300k breeze up by absolutely bolted up at Hamilton. I was quite taken by the way he won that race. I think Ascot's going to suit him. So he's about 12 to 1. I'd probably just have a couple of quid each way on them too. Like I say, when you're talking about 2-year-old races, it's just so hard. I wouldn't be going too heavy in these sort of races, but because of all, there's not much form ties to go get, to sort of weigh them up. But it's going to be a good race. I think it'll be thick and fast. So hopefully we've managed to land on one of the winners there. But we shall see come tomorrow. Right, love it. What's Michael put here? He's put Offsprings by Pinatubo don't tend to do well. Top horse though. Well, Rich is against you there, aren't you, Rich? You love a Pinatubo, don't you? He's muting himself again. Right, moving on. So going to the King Charles III Stakes, the Group 2. Now this will be quick. Good to firm 5 furlong. I'm going to come back to you again, Liv. I'll just keep chopping and changing. Big Evs, obviously in the favourite in here, really impressive last time out. Tom Marquand's on board. Regionals in at second favourite. Asfura, I hope I haven't butchered that. Believe in and sort of bigger, 10 to 1 bigger the rest. A really fast. This is going to be a really quick 5 furlong sprint. Is this? If you ask me, what are you landing on, Liv?
Like you say, you need a fast horse. And I was actually watching a video of, I think it was Big Ev's Work Rider the other day. And he said he's so fast that when you ride him, you can nearly fall off the back of him. So I'll have to side with him here. I know Tom Marquand as well speaks exceptionally high of him. Obviously, had a very successful campaign last year. Won Windsor Castle Stakes at Ascot, so he's got the cause form. Won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint in America in November. Massive achievement. Won a listed race at York last time out on good ground, so the ability is obviously still there as a 3-year-old, and again, ground he's been proven on. Connections just speak so highly of him, and it goes without saying he should be the one to beat here. He's obviously up against his elders for the first time, but his weight reflects that. And if you're looking for bigger odds, maybe a forecast of Valiant Force, who was obviously second to him in America, winner of Norfolk Stakes at Ascot last year, so you know that the track should suit him again and conditions. So yeah, if you want it as a bit bigger odds, maybe play the forecast for a bit more interest.
Love that cheeky forecast. That'll be some bet if that lands. Rich, Big Evs. Then are you with him? Are you against him? What are your thoughts, pal?
I think this is the best bet of tomorrow, personally.
Whoa, steady on.
I mean, he was the best 2-year-old sprinter
Let's get
last
it right
season.
then.
He was the best 2-year-old sprinter last year, wasn't he? We was there. Well, I was there at York when he made his debut. I think he had a penalty that day. I mean, he probably didn't beat a lot, but signs were there that he still holds the ability. I mean, the trainer said he was only about 75% fit. He's by Blue Point. His dad's won this, I think, twice. I think in his career. So yeah, it'd be nice to see him win. Actually, the connections.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a bit of a fan favourite, isn't he, Big Evs at the moment? Everyone sort of likes to get on the back of him. It will be great to see him win. I think 4 to 1's a fair price. The only other one I kind of had a little look at was a horse called Kurdos. I think actually somebody's in the comments is on him as well. I think Michael's put him up here. Diligent Aaron Kurdos. I quite like Kurdos in this as well. I thought he looked really good at Adoc last time, even though it was on soft ground. But he's won a couple of times on good ground, so I don't see that being an issue. Looked a pretty quick horse last time, so I'd probably take a little each way with him. But I'd like to see Big Evs go and win, to be honest. I think if he's fast out of them gates, he's absolutely rapid, and I think he could easily just put these to bed, and he might well do it. If he does, great. If he doesn't, hopefully Kurdos picks up the pieces for me. Right, and Michael, obviously. Right then, the last race we're going to do of the first day of Royal Ascot the St James's Palace Stakes, and I'm going to come to Richie because I can probably put your mortgage on who you think he's going to pick. Take it away. Are you with notable speech for the boys in blue, or are you against this very talented horse?
I just think you've got to be with him, the way you won the Guineas. I mean, I was on with Rizalian in the Guineas, and I thought that Rizalian was going to go on and to win that, and then as soon as Buick pressed the button, he was long gone. I just kind of see the same result, to be honest with you. Rizalian will probably go for home, and then Buick will press the button, and we all know who's the quicker horse now, don't we? So, yeah, I just think he wins.
I'll be right back. Wins? You what? Oh, he's off. He's gone.
Be right back.
Notable speech wins. That's it. I mean, Liv, what an absolute shambles Joe and Rich have been tonight. They're in and out.
At least you've got me, though.
I know, thank God. We're absolutely holding it up here. But these two...
Well, you've got me and the dog, obviously.
Well, the dog's got more sense than these two. I could tell you that for free.
I know this in here to sleep as well.
These two, right, they're going about the flat. All this, wait for it jumps. Can't wait for flat, can't wait for flat. Royal Ascot comes along and it's like part-time. Honestly, absolute shambles. Go on then. You and the dog. What do you think of notable speech? Do you think he wins? Do you think he just wins? Or are you going to go against him?
Yeah, he's got to, hasn't he? I mean, unbeaten for Charlie Appleby, William Buick and Godolphin. Obviously, top connections. Goes out saying they know what they're doing by now. Completed Kempton and all-weather hat-trick, including a Class 2. And then obviously won the 2000 Guineas. Improving on his turf debut, which doesn't always happen. City of Troy, 16 lengths behind him. Obviously won the Derby next time out. I mean... Can't really say much about that performance because that wasn't a true reflection of Aidan O'Brien's horse, but was still 16 lengths behind him. How do you say it? Rosalian.
Rosalian.
I always get that wrong. I always say it the other way around. Obviously was in second. So if you're looking at the market leaders, you're obviously going to have to go notable speech because he's holding them up form-wise. But obviously... He won the Irish 2000 Guineas next time out. Proven good ground trip. Could do the forecast with the two market leaders again if you're looking for a bit more value. And then the French contender, I think Darlinghurst, is that how you say it? Could be a good each way shout. He's quite an eye catcher. 4 out of 4 this year. And yeah, obviously the two market leaders are short in price. I think notable speech is about 6 to 5. So the forecast wouldn't even pay that much either. And I think Darlinghurst about 18 to 1, which does look overpriced to me. So probably between those three in the places, but you've got to go notable speech, I think.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And I'm hoping he puts a bit of a good performance on, to be honest, because we've not had that many of them so far through the flat season. We've had 1 or 2 sort of big performances, but hopefully that he goes and does it tomorrow and puts on a good show. But I'm with you there with notable speech as well. Right, that's it for day 1 then. That's the group racing for the first day. Hopefully we've got a couple of winners there. So we're going to move on to Wednesday, and I'm going to, again, it's the first race of the day, the 2:30. This is the Queen Mary Stakes. This is a Group 2 over 5 furlong. Now, it's currently good to firm still, but obviously we've all had this big thing about watering and all this. They are watering it, I do believe. I think they did put some on today. I'm sure I read somewhere it's about 5 mil or something like that. So hopefully don't put too much on, because I've always thought the flat was all about fast horses and decent ground. So hopefully they don't put too much on. But we have Make Haste in here as favourite currently, with Leah Varney in the second favourite. And straight away, we're truly enchanted in 15 to 2, and then Miss Rascal is 10 to 1 bigger the rest. So it's a wide open race. Where are your sort of thoughts leading you towards?
Like you said, it's a wide open race, this. Like most of them are, but I feel like it's a bit safer to go with an each way shout here, which is, for me, Enchanted Empress for Amma Racing. Filly, who caught my eye on her debut straight away, is on the all-weather at Wolverhampton. Despite running green, she still won it. I don't know why she just caught my eye that day, but she just did. Won Royal Ascot trial next time out with Rock Hunter, who had won on his debut in France in the race before for Amy Murphy, which shows obviously that they thought a lot of him and probably didn't expect him to get beat that day. That was a Class 2 race, so again, ability's obviously there. And then she completed the hat-trick when winning a listed race at Sandown last time out, beating Rock Hunter again. So obviously Amy Murphy thought, take her on and go again, and obviously still got beat. And she was slowly away from the stalls that day as well. She's unraced on good ground, but she's been versatile so far. So I think that she could be a good each way shout here.
Yeah, I like that. I think there's some good points in there, and I do agree with you. It's probably a race to maybe just take an each way dart at it. Rich, since you've returned, what are your thoughts on the this race, the Queen Mary Stakes, day 2?
I mean, it's wide open again. Another 2-year-old race with very little experience to go off. The one I do like actually is Miss Lemay for Carl Burke. I thought she was very unlucky last time out at York in the Marygate.
I'm assuming that's why you've fobbed off. Is there? Are you looking after little girl?
Yes, she won't go to sleep, so I've had to bring her down here.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I thought she was very lucky in the Marygate at York, so I think she's quite a decent price as well. Looking at this, what's she showing on time?
Which one was it, Miss Lemay? About 28 to 1 currently, best price.
Yeah, I think that's a good price each way. The other one in there is Levani. Again, I watched him win at Beverley. I think was it Beverley last time out?
Nottingham.
Oh, Nottingham. Sorry. I thought he did that very well. It's very hard with 2-year-olds in the form. Like you say, you probably take a couple of darts at it. They'd be the two that I probably fancy, but I just want to back Miss Lemay because I thought she was very unlucky last time out.
Yeah, I mean, my first pot call was that Leovani originally, but I mean, she beat a horse called Sunshine Solo come last next time. So it just makes you wonder what sort of form that is. I know she probably did win it impressively enough, but again, if it's 2-year-old form, you don't know whether it's going to stand up or not. The other one I quite like is a horse that we actually spoke about with Joe Mason on the podcast the other week. Glorious Kitty's in here, and she was staying on 4th in behind that Betty Clover and Running Queen, who Oisin Murphy spoke quite highly of. Betty Clover obviously reversed the form of their previous race. Glorious Kitty, it was her first run out, and she was staying on in behind. It was a good run for the first run behind a couple of nice horses who have obviously already had a run. So I always said that when Joe Mason told us a little story about Glorious Kitty, I was like, I'm just going to back that horse blind. So she's about 40 to 1. I think her at each way price, I'm going to give her a chance to run into a place. And the jockey is Sam James, so it kind of ticks every single box for me in terms of emotional involvement. And in a race like this, I think that'll do me fine. Let's just put a couple of these comments up because a couple of these have popped up. 1 second, guys. What's this here? You guys doing a wee Friday show for our Saturday meeting this weekend? We're doing the next show is going to be on Wednesday night, and we're going to finish the rest of Ascot off. So we might try and we'll add a little bit of air to it.
I'll see if I can pick one out.
We'll have a look at the air card and we'll try and pick a couple out for you girls, mate. And Jamie Foster's just put up Meta Bolt has just won. I told you I knew he'd win, but it was short enough price. I'm absolutely gutted because I put up the double with Beyond Boards and he come chuffing second. So that is just standard. A second and a winner in a double. What can you do? But it was short. About 6 to 4, I think he went off SP. But that nice winner. If you backed him, fingers crossed, you did. So yeah, nice 40 to 1 from me. A couple of nice ones from Liv and one that I forgot what you even went for, Rich. Miss Lemay. Miss Lemay. We'll go for Miss Lemay. Lovely. So that's some nice prices there. Some really juicy prices indeed. Right, the 305 then. Again, the Queen's Vase this time. This is Group 2. We're stepping up in trip to 1 mile 6 furlong. And you've got Illinois in here with Ryan Moore on board for Aidan O'Brien. You've also got Wayne Lorden in here for Aidan O'Brien on Highbury. Birdman 6 to 1. Aidan O'Brien, Grosvenor Squares in here as well. He's got a fair few in here. And sort of 9 to 1 bigger the rest. Rich, you managed to, if you just talk to little lass about your racing, that'll put to sleep, won't it?
Can you hear it in the background?
That's literally the noise I make whenever I live to listen to you talk about what's next podcast about that. Are you on Illinois or are you against? This is why people come to this podcast, because this is real down to earth. We are just normal people, guys. Do you know what I mean? We're just normal. Yeah. Normal. Shall I mute you and go to Liv or what? Are you going to get started?
Yeah, go to Liv. I'll be 2 minutes.
Thank God for that. Right, Liv. The Queen's Base, Illinois or no? Illinois or Illinois, yes?
I have to go for Illinois on this occasion. Obviously, top connections, Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore. Aidan obviously sends 4 runners to this race, and obviously this is Ryan Moore's choice. Went on debut by 3 lengths before 1 length off his stablemate Los Angeles in France, who next time out came third in the Betfred. No, next time out, who has since came third in the Betfred Derby. Second behind Ambiently Friendly in a listed race last time out. He raced awkwardly and hung right-handed, but obviously still got quite close to him. I think he's about 4 lengths off him. The only obvious doubt is that he's stepping up to 1 mile 60 here from maximum of 1 mile 3, but he should just continue improving. And I don't think, again, Top Connections would send him here if they thought he'd underperform. So it's a strange race, really. I'm not certain on any of them, but if I had to choose, it would just be the favourite.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. If I'm honest with you, I think when you've got Aidan O'Brien sending a few in here, it's like you just know they're going to try and set it up. They obviously think Illinois is going to stay the extra 3 furlongs. Obviously, the last day of the form behind Ambient Friendly is good form. It's strong form, probably the strongest form in here. It's a tough little race. I'd probably side. I mean, 9-4 is not a bad price for a race like this, to be fair. But yeah, it'd be a tentative selection in Illinois for me. And Rich, are you on the same? Or are you against? She should really be asleep by now. I can't believe you ain't got to sleep yet.
I want to be against, but I'm just looking through the field. There's not a lot that jumps out at me.
It's one of them. I can guarantee you. One of them. The race will finish, and you'll just think it was so obvious.
I mean, I've been tempted to have a little go on the balding horse, Mina Rashid. Is it?
Yep.
Won at Chester last time out. It's a very testing sort of track. I think that was in a 1 mile 4. Stepping up again, seemed to handle the 1 mile 4 pretty well. 1 mile 6 shouldn't be any issue, I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, tricky little race. But yeah, maybe have a little swing at that.
That's fair enough, mate. It's a good price as well. You're looking at 20-1 available at quite a few places. So that's not bad. Not a bad bet. And each way against and a couple for the favourite. Fantastic. Right, we've got 2 more to go then. And the second to last race is the Duke of Cambridge Stakes. Now, this is a Group 2, over a mile. Jonathan Fady Gosden have the services Ryan Moore in it, Laurel at 10-3, Rogue Millennium 7-2, Ocean Jewel 17-2, Royal Dresses in at 12-1. We've got Breeze in here, who won for us last time out, 14-1, Running Lions in it. So nice horse in here, 14-1 bigger than the rest. Rich, do you want to kick us off in here, mate? Where are you fancying? Can Breeze get another win with Jason out on, or has she had a win out? We had the win out of
her. I don't know. I think the way she runs, I think there's probably a couple more wins in her. Again, it's another little tricky race. I want to stay away from the favourite, not ran for 396 days. Kind of put me off. I don't think the Gosden's form has been really firing this year. I can't.
I'd probably agree with that, to be honest. I think you'd be brave, sort of backing his horses at the top of the market. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't really.
There's always a comment here, girls. Oh, you're an absolute legend, you mate. Get the baby on speaker. By the sound, speaks more sense than Rich. You're getting absolute pelters tonight, Rich. I'm loving this. This is great.
No, I don't mind. I'll be avoiding the favourite. Breach is probably one I'd probably on the each way play it. I mean, first time cheap pieces. I think this time she won fairly well. I mean, it was a close race, but I still think there's a lot left in her. Like I say, Running Lion.
I don't think I could back Running Lion me personally after the last couple of runs, to be honest.
I know, but out of the Gosden pair, he's the one I probably would back, if I'm honest with you. Again, it's a tricky race. There's nothing really text me fancy. I mean, I'll just put my colours to Breach. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, Breeze obviously we put her up last time and she won pretty well. I'm going to mute you. You doing, Maiden? I can't unmute. Oh, he's muted himself. Yeah, Breeze. I mean, I think there'd be a few people that maybe say there was a couple of unlucky unlucky riders in behind Breege. But obviously, the first time cheap pieces go on, which is an interesting addition. Maybe she just idled a little bit when she got to the front, but she did travel into it pretty well. So I'd like to think she could improve again and take a bit of a step forward. So what I mean, I'll come to you, Liv. What are you thinking? Are you sort of against the favourite and looking at a bigger price somewhere else?
Yeah, I'd go for Novus each way for Gary and Josh Moore. Top jockey and Tom Queeley's obviously on board. All of her wins are being on soft ground, but she has gone close on good ground before. For example, 2 lengths fourth in a Class 1 at Sandown. I think that was last year though. Shorthead second to Royal Dress in a listed race last time out at Goodwood, so you obviously know that she's got the class and the ability there. She won a Group 3 at Newmarket in October. She's used to the big field handicaps, which some of these maybe aren't. She was actually 6 of 29 runners in the Sandringham Stakes at Ascot on Good to Fame going last year. That was a Class 2, only 6 lengths off the winner. She's a classy filly who's firmly on the up, and like I say, there's none that I'm particularly drawn to in this race. So, like I say, I'd be going for an outsider, which would be her in this case. I think she's more than capable of going close.
Yeah, she's a good horse, is Novus. I remember back in a long time ago now. I think it was a Goodwood, maybe last May. I think she won. I backed her. But she's got that good back form. She definitely have a good chance. So fingers crossed she runs a big race. I think I'd probably just have it's a small bet on Breeze purely because I think they do think a lot of her the way Jason Hart spoke really highly of her, and I think they obviously think the cheap pieces are going to improve her even more. It's a tentative each way bet, but I'd definitely be against the favourite, and if she goes and wins, fair enough. But yeah, I think there's definitely a race to have a couple of darts at an each way price against. Gerzo, my old mate, is on Running Lion. Yeah, I think Running Lion, I do think you're backing Running Lion purely on, what's the word I'm looking for? Like faith that she can put that last run behind her coming last, but she may well do it. We shall see. Right, folks, we've come to the last race of the preview. I tried to keep it short and sharp for the flat because we know people aren't that bothered, but we're going to try and hopefully we've picked a few winners. Rich loves it, but it's great. I'm quite enjoying having it on mute, actually. Just listen. It's quite peaceful, isn't it? Yeah, anyway. Right, the Princess Wales Stakes. I'm going to start with you, Liv. We've got Augusta Rodin in here as favourite. In Spiral, obviously comes here instead of the previous race before. Horizon Door is 13-2, 12-1 bigger than the rest. You got Blue Rose in here, another podcast favourite. Lord North's in here, a bigger price. Augusta Rodin, what are your thoughts? With or against?
Probably, I've gone for with, but now I'm thinking in Spiral might be a little bit more, I think a bit more consistent. Obviously last time I disappointed, but the ground wasn't fast enough for her. So it depends if they keep water in or not. But Augusta Rodin, depends which horse turns up really. He's obviously disappointed a few times. Not really sure why, to be honest. I don't think they ever pinpointed anything. But 5 Group 1 successes, including the Breeders' Cup, Epsom Derby and Irish Champion Stakes. He's an insane horse, an absolute credit to his connections. So if he turns up in the right mood, I think he just goes and wins it. 3 lengths second to White Birch, who was obviously out of the contest last time, so his main probably contender is gone. And obviously, if any connections can get a horse at the best on the flat, it'll be Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore. Aidan's operating at a massive 48% strike rate, whilst Ryan's at 50% strike rate. So obviously massively in form at the minute, and I just have to go for him in this one.
I mean, those stats are absolutely insane, and I think you hit the nail on the head when I think you said it depends which Augusta Rodin turns up. If the A1 Augusta Rodin turns up, it could be it could blow these away. I mean, Rich obviously in Spiral won that race on the Bob over in the Breeders' Cup meeting. Bit of a low key return, and obviously was potentially going for the other race. Now comes here. Kieran Schumacher's obviously on board. What are you thinking here? Are you going to go with Augusta Rodin, or are you going to go in Spiral with something else?
I can't believe Augusta Rodin, like you say. You just don't know which horse is going to turn up. I suppose you could say the same to Spiral, but I just think it's quite interesting that they're skipping the first race of the meeting to go for this. You obviously feel that I think this is from the bend. I think the bend's going to obviously suit her better. I mean, she got touched off last year in this with an interrupted kind of prep. I mean, she's had a run. Probably wasn't the most convincing one at Newbury, but I'd give her another chance. Yeah, like you said, Goslin's horses aren't flying, but if he is going to get a winner, I do think that they do fancy her to win this. And yeah, she's the one for me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. It's almost on a bit of a coin toss for me between these two at the top. I do think Inspire will come in here, obviously 1 mile 2 furlong, has won at this distance before. The firm ground, or the good to firm, I don't think they'll water it enough to soften it up too much and it'll suit her down to the ground. I do think Kieran Schumacher, though, the way he's kind of been performing of late on these Gosden horses just kind of puts me off. And that is kind of the main swing to me, just to stick with Augusta Road. And I think Ryan Moore and O'Brien, they know how to get these horses A1, even after a couple of potentially bad runs or whatever. We've seen it all before. We saw it with City of Troy, and I just think Augusta Road, and if they've got him A1, I think it takes all the beating here, and I think Ryan Moore could get him over the line in front. Right, that's it for the first 2 days of Ascot. Rich, have you got anything else you'd like to mention, or is that sort of us all finished and done?
There's only one. Runs tomorrow in the Wolferton Stakes, the 540. Botanical is out. Won very well at York last time out in a handicap. People saying that he's potentially a group horse in the making. I think he's about 5s, so he's a good each way sort of price for me. And yeah, we'll find out. It's only a listed contest, so if he is a group horse, and you'd have thought he'd be going close in this.
Fingers crossed then. Well, hopefully everyone's enjoyed tonight's eventful evening. I'm not going to sit around and wait for Joe to come back, because I doubt he'll even come back. He's probably watching that last race, so sod him. But Liv, obviously, thank you for coming on and giving us your opinion. You're giving us some fantastic information there. Have you enjoyed coming back on? We'll definitely have to try and get you back on when you're... you think you're going down to Royal Ascot, are you?
Yeah, Thursday, my first time, so that's very exciting. But yeah, I always love coming on. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, that's it. Hopefully, we'll try and get you on again at some point as the season goes on, and especially when the jumps comes back, we'll definitely get you back on to get a couple of shows under the belt, 100%. Rich, anything else you'd like to add before we bob off? And then, like I say, we'll be back on, I think, is it Wednesday night, did we say, to sort of preview the last sort of 3 days? And I might let you and Joe do that. Imagine Joe will be chuffing trackside, won't he?
Yeah, back Wednesday. I'll try and be more prepared, and hopefully the daughter will be asleep by that point.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start putting my foot down as the boss, I think. I think you and Joe, you're slacking in the old podcast. To say it's the flat, you're just kind of fobbing it off. It's ridiculous. As people come to watch this podcast for you and Joe, it's just a shower of shite, mate. It's not good enough.
I mean, if they want professional, then it's definitely the wrong podcast.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, like I always say, like and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. We are close to 700 subscribers, which is class. I mean, obviously the drop off from the flat's been quite epic, but that's just the name of the game. But hopefully we can continue to, put out some good shows, get the jockeys on, get good guests on like Liv, giving us some great picks, and hopefully we've landed some winners. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. And any last words, guys? You want to say anything else, Liv, before we go? What's your nap of the week? What's your nap of Thursday? What's going to win on Thursday? Have you had a look?
Thursday, I've not even looked.
On the spot?
I don't know. I've not looked.
I don't know who's running. I'm so tired. I stayed up to watch the golf last night, so I feel like I'm very hyper right now, so it's probably best we shut this down. But yeah,
Big Ebbs is mine out, by the way.
You what?
Big Ebbs is mine out.
Yeah, got to be.
Yeah, Big Ebbs. We'll all go for Big Ebbs. I know if we can go and do the business and goes and wins and blasts out them gates and gets the win. So everybody enjoy Royal Ascot. Rich and we'll have all those picks on Twitter and things like that. So if you've missed any, they'll all be up there. So hopefully you'll have a good week, and we'll see you all again Wednesday. Thank you and good night. Ta-ra.
See you then.